as we go on, for context, I'm going to be moving very slow. I'm not moving fast at all in this. So this is going to be a slow paced podcast. So if you need to like speed up, like you can increase the speed. It's going to be a slow paced podcast because I want you to get it. I'm not trying to rush through any information. That's why there's no fancy dangling. All right, I'm imagining that you're here and I'm having a conversation with you and I'm breaking this down. So I'm treating you like one of my students right now, and I'm just moving slow pace because I want you to get it. I want you to ask questions. I want you to be up in the comments like, hey, I didn't actually get what you meant by this. So let's just get the community thing going, because remember, I'm giving you from the perspective of my experiences. I'm giving you from what works. I'm giving you from the perspective of an accountant, right? My certification has expired, but I'm still an accountant. And for myself, for my family, and I'm telling you what works and what gets you in trouble. So this is a slow pace episode, all right? But for those of you that need it to move fast, by all means, speed it up, but it's a slow conversation for this one, all right, guys? So I apologize if you need it to be like fast paced. Yeah. So the next thing is hey world, how you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Sober Logic Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. André Dyer, and thank you for dropping by. Alright, so if you're new to the podcast, I'm just going to be going off giving you some tips and tricks of the things that I've learned from my own experiences. Full disclosure, I am by no means a financial advisor. I'm just a guy that's done a few things, and I can tell you how I manage my money. Alright, so oh, my light ain't too bright. So let's get into it. So thank you for stopping by the Logic Den. This episode is about the worst everyday financial decisions that are keeping you broke. All of these might not apply to you. Some might, and there are others out there, but these are the ones that I find with my friendship circles that for the mass majority people are committing these. All right, so when I say, let me apologize, I'm not feeling 100%, so if you hear me swallowing a lot, I'm gonna apologize. I'm gonna take it slow. Grab yourself a pen and paper. You can rewind this as much as possible because it is a video, and let's jump into it. All right, so over time as adults, very quickly, our bad decisions, they add up very quickly. All right, these decisions may be daily, weekly, or monthly. They add up. To get out of debt, you have to make logical decisions. All right, and in a lot of cases, to get out of debt, you have to make sacrifices. Like the moment you fall into debt, you have to make sacrifices to get out of it, unless you have a rich aunt, uncle, or something that can just give you a clean slate, like wipe all your debt and give you a clean slate. But the vast majority of us do not have that luxury. This episode is solely focused on the bad decisions that are keeping you broke. I'm going to give you another video with other things, but just for this one, the bad decisions that are keeping you broke. All right, so number one, the top of the list. Most people that are broke, they don't have a budget. They've never done a budget. They don't know how to budget. They don't even know what is a budget. You have to have a budget. No matter how basic your budget is, you have to have a budget. Number one thing that your budget must have, your income. How much money do you make and how often do you make it? Depending on where you live, you might get your salary monthly. You might get your salary fortnightly. You might get your salary weekly. Whatever it is, the first thing that goes in your budget is how much money you make. Second thing that goes into that budget is how much money is taken away. So this is your gross income, is how much money that you make, and then you're gonna get your net income from that. So from your gross income, are you paying social security? Are you paying taxes? Like, what are you paying to get to your net? Once you get to your net, from your net, you're going to take away all your expenses, all your bills. We're talking transportation, phone, internet, like all those things. When you're done with that, you're going to have what is called your livable income. All right. And for a lot of us, there's not much left after you take away all that. That's where the term living paycheck to paycheck comes from. But you see, if you never ever budgeted, you don't know how much of your income, from your gross income to your net income to what's called on your livable. You have to have a budget. You have to write this down. If you don't, you're screwing yourself from the get-go. You're just working for working's sake and working to pay bills, and you don't know what is what. The second thing, still within budget, your assets versus your liabilities. A lot of people are misconception of what are assets. There are different types of assets. There are different value of assets. A house and a car are assets, but the asset you really want is the house versus the car. I don't want to be offensive to anyone, but I've heard a lot of teachers, because again, educator, a lot of teachers on retirement, they go, "Ooh, I want that retirement vehicle." Okay, because they're retired and they were brought up in this mindset of, oh, when you retire, you can finally own that vehicle. All right, that's how bad it was for teachers, that on retirement is when they were getting a vehicle. Things and times have changed, so now teachers have cars. But put your mind in that frame right there, right? So even though they're getting this retirement vehicle, they're still paying rent. They don't own their own house. So that right there, yes, the vehicle is an asset, but the vehicle depreciates over time. If they had went and acquired a house, the house gains value over time. If they had bought land, the land gains value over time. That retirement vehicle that the credit union and the bank put a big red bow on and say, oh yeah, this is what you should do with half your retirement money. No. So you have to know the value of your assets versus the value of your liabilities. And for the younger folks out there, I hate to break it to you, but your kids are liabilities. They're an 18-year liability, because depending on what country you live in, the law pretty much says you have to take care of that child until they're an adult. Some countries it's 16, some countries it's 18, some countries it's as high as 21. So depending on the country you live in, your child is a 21-year liability. You have to clothe them, feed them, educate them, all these things. What's the value of your assets versus your liabilities? And the last part under budgeting, I like to call it logic accounting. Logic accounting is everything that I've just said rolled up, but you're keeping it right here. So logically, you're saying, I get paid $1,000 a month. I know I have this and this and this and this bill, but you're just trying to calculate from the top of your head. Oh, my phone bill is this, my light bill is this. But you haven't done your gross salary versus your net salary. And then you're like, oh, this party is coming up. So you're going to take away that money out of your head. And you're just working everything on a logical basis. But now you're just going from day A to day B to day C of logic. Nothing's written down. You don't know how much you've actually spent. This is when you find yourself in the circumstance of, all right, I went into a store with $100. I walked out and I have $20. Sure, I bought these two products, but I'm pretty sure they weren't worth $80. Where did the rest of my money go? You can't remember, because you're just buying little things and you throw away the receipt and you don't know what was in your pocket versus how it come out. That makes sense? I hope so. Alright, moving on to number 2. Number 2 now. So number 2 is you only have one stream of income. A lot of people who struggle with money were never taught how to manage money. They're never taught how to make money. You probably grew up in, all right, you need to go get a job, and that's all they told you. So you just went and got a job, and whatever they offered you, you accepted. You're not thinking outside the box. You're living in the best time where we can do almost anything, and make extra income. All right, so a lot of people like me doing right now, I'm on YouTube. I'm putting stuff on YouTube. I'm not monetized because I need 1,000 subscribers first, but the potential is there to monetize it. I'm doing this for fun because I like doing multimedia. I don't really need the income from this, the second stream. I'm at the point in my life where I'm budgeted and I'm good, I'm happy, I'm comfortable, I'm not stressing myself. To a lot of people on the come up, they're struggling. All right, you need a second stream of income. Let's take someone, you're working at Burger King. I'm not bashing on anybody that works in the fast food industry, they work hard. But let's say you work at Burger King. Let's say you're on a what do you call it, the 4-1-2 shift. You work 4 days, you get a day off, and then you go back 2 days, you get a day off, and then you're back on 4 days again. All right, so that's the 4-1-2-1-4. It keeps going. For those 2 days off, what are you doing? Are you sleeping, relaxing? You might have kids. That's okay. But those 2 days, they're technically your weekend. For the average person that works Monday to Friday, they get Saturday, Sunday off. In your case, though, you're working 4 days, you get a day off. Then you work 2 days, and then you get a day off. What can you do for at least one of those 2 days to get you an extra income? The other thing is, what does your shift look like? Because you're definitely not working all day long while you're at Burger King. And even if you work at a bookstore, even if you're a teacher, if you are a mechanic, what are you doing with the extra time that you have off? You can do almost anything. Are you good at baking? Bake some cookies, bring them to work, sell those cookies. All right, if you are work at let's go back to the Burger King thing. Let's say you're great at making bracelets and so forth. You can just have your, if you're working a register, I know if you're working in the food section, you can't have things like bracelets on, but you can promote something, make a little scarf, something to bring extra income in. You can go MC at birthday parties, something, but you just need a second stream of income. And then you're gonna find that once you get in the rhythm of balancing a full-time job, having a second income, it's way easier to figure out how to get a third stream of income. I'm going to use an example. I know an assistant teacher from a kindergarten. All right, she works at a prep school, but she's predominantly in the kindergarten. So her work days are pretty much, say, 7:30 to 1:30. She probably leaves work by 2:30. When she's done working, she takes a little half an hour for herself, and she goes right to the swimming pool and she teaches kiddies how to swim. Okay? Outside of that, if anyone's doing like a wedding or anything, she does makeup. She has like a whole makeup kit. If anyone's having like a birthday party, a sweet 16, they call her. Boom, she's doing makeup. That's 3 streams of income right there. So do you see what I'm talking about? She works from 8 to 1:30, takes some time for herself, teaches swimming, and on the off chance that anything else pops up, she's doing makeup. Oh, and I just remembered, because she teaches swimming and these little kiddies have birthday parties, if they happen to be a pool party, she's the lifeguard. Ha! Multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income.
Multiple streams of income.
Figure out what is it that you can do to get that other stream of income. All right, took a long time on that one. Let's jump to number 3. So number 3 is you overspend. You overspend on the silliest things. Overspending on your wants versus your needs will always get you in trouble. Always. Wants versus needs. Your need is something that you have to have. You have to have. Spending on expensive hobbies and addictions, never a good thing. Never a good thing. Right now, this time in life, everyone is health conscious, gym conscious. So gym memberships are a thing. People are getting in shape and they're walking and all these things. Are you using that gym membership to the fullest potential? There's so many people that take out gym memberships and then they don't go to the gym and then they can't get out of the gym membership. It's a waste of money. However, if you have your gym membership and you're religiously there, it's a good investment. You've invested in yourself, you've invested in your health. Kudos to you. However, you have people who are needlessly spending on shopping. Oh, let's go shopping because it's Saturday. I'm going to buy this purse because it's on sale. Oh, the new Jordans came out. I've got the last 5. Might as well get this one. Do you even wear the other ones? No, but they're Jordans. I need to have them. Remember, you have to spend on your needs first before your wants. And there's nothing... What's a nice way to put it? Your needs... They're needs. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Let's think about me right now. Me. Well, I go to the supermarket once per month for sure. Twice maximum. You're gonna see me do any big shopping. And when I say big shopping, I'm talking about my non-perishables and my perishables. So the thing to remember is you try not to overspend on your wants before your needs. Needs are toilet paper. You need toilet paper, okay? You need your medication if you're on medicine. You need, if you live in somewhere cold, you need a warm coat. You don't need 5, 6, 8, 10 coats, but you need a warm coat. Do you need to travel? No. Do you need to modify your car? No. Do you need to buy all those things on sale? No. You focus on your needs before your wants. Alright, let's jump to number 4. I'm going to come back on the overspending with the needs and the wants, but let's jump to number 4. Buying items that are falsely advertised as a sale. And a lot of these retail places catch you with this. Walmart catches you. Target catch you. Even Amazon catches you. There was a video on Instagram. Well, I saw it on Instagram. It was Black Friday sale. So the lady walks into Target and there's sale everywhere. And she literally walks up to the price thing and she slides out the price. It's on sale. $11.59 or something like that. And then the regular price said $11.59. But there's a big sale slapped on this one and the regular one was still there, so she slipped it back in. She walks over to the next rack. Sale. Something was on $9.99. She slides it out. Regular price is $9.99. She slips it in. She walks to the other end of the store and there's something that was on sale for like $29.99 something. And ladies are in there like, ooh, this is nice, I gotta get this and da 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 da. And she slides it out. was actually $19.99. The last one was $19.99, but the sale said $29.99. They actually marked it up by $10, and it was full. Oh, it's sale. Oh yeah, this looks great. All right, they're actually paying $10 more, but the word sale caught them. Don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for that trick. Yep. So, moving to number 5. All right. The volume of perishable items that you purchase. The volume of perishable items that you purchase. Perishable items are things that actually go bad. So we're talking like your tomatoes, your potatoes, eggs, milk, anything that has an expiration date that comes up very quickly. We have a tendency to go, even if we're buying wholesale, especially when we're buying wholesale, you're shopping with your eyes. You're not shopping logically. You see that pack of donuts and you're like, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna get those. And you buy 2 packs because the price is good. You go home and you take one out of each pack. 2-3 days later, half of each of those things are spoiled. They're not good anymore. They went bad on you. All those tomatoes that you bought and you either left them on the counter or you put them in the fridge, they're bad. All those bananas, they're in your fridge right now, going black. You do this almost every weekend or every other weekend. And every other weekend between those 2 weekends, you're throwing things out. How much money are you throwing away? Every time you go in the refrigerator and those rotten strawberries, the apples, the grapes, all of those rotten things that you're throwing away is money going down the drain. Stop buying excessive perishables that you're throwing away. Anyone in the financial game will tell you, less is more. Less is more. If I go and buy a pound of grapes, 2 pounds look really nice. But if I buy a pound of grapes and I run out of grapes and I'm now craving grapes, I ate all the grapes I purchased. But if I'd bought 2 pounds of grapes, I ate the pound, maybe 2 grams off the other one, but half a pound goes bad, 2/3 of the pound goes bad. I wasted money on those grapes. Less is more. If I bought the pound and I'm craving after the pound, good. If I bought 2 pounds and I'm wasting some of it, not good. You wasted money. Think of it logically. Less is more. Before I skip, I just remembered something. Thinking about myself. Whenever I go to the wholesale or the supermarket, if I see toilet paper on sale, like a real sale, not because they put the word sale up, I buy it. Because I pay attention to the price of my needs. I need toothpaste. I need toilet paper. I need soap. I need body wash. I need dishwashing liquid. Okay? These are things I need. So every time I go to the supermarket, I'm paying attention to the prices. Oh, tissue is that cost. Toothpaste is that cost. If I go this time and I'm like, oh, tissue went down by $4, I buy it. Do I need the tissue? In that moment, no. But will I eventually need tissue? Yes. Does tissue go bad? No. Same thing with toothpaste and soap. If the soap or the brand that I use, because I'm buying it all the time, I know the price and it genuinely goes down, even if I have 2 6-packs of Irish Spring, I'm an Irish Spring guy, and I use what's the other one called? I use Protex Palmolives. Those are my 3 brands. All right. If I see any of these drop in price, even if I have a 6-pack right now in my closet, I buy it because eventually I'm gonna need soap. Soap doesn't go bad. I'm getting it at a lower cost. I'm getting value on my money, right? When I was leaving Myanmar, I gave away a 9-pack of toilet paper. When I was leaving Mexico, I gave away a 12-pack of toilet paper. When in COVID, for the 2+ years that I was in COVID, I never bought toilet paper because I was stacked up. And I also gave my mom a whole 6-pack. She's like, oh, the supermarkets are out of toilet paper. And I'm like, really? I'll give you a pack. Because over the years, if I see the sale, I buy it, put it in storage. I will always need toilet paper. So put that out there. Spent a long time on that one. Let's move to number 6. Here's what catches the basic man. The basic man is like your teacher, your construction worker, your police officer, your nurses, all right? People in public service, basically. What catches the vast majority are loans. Loans. Banks are not your friends. Loan sharks are definitely not your friends. The credit unions are kind of your friends. Credit unions aren't going to hound you as much. But the thing that banks, loan sharks, and the credit unions have in company is they want back their money and they're going to charge you interest. Credit unions will give you lower interest. All right? The thing is, with loan sharks, they catch you with the get the cash now schemes. All right? You need to do that repair. Oh, you can get the cash now. The requirements to get it are way lower. A lot of people don't realize, I'm not going to name names, but a lot of these companies that target public servants, their business model is illegal. Put it that way. Their business model is illegal. The average person, they're unaware that there's a cap as to how much interest rate you can put on a value of a loan. They're unaware that, let's say I need a $5,000 loan. There's an emergency. Something happened and I need this cash right away. The loan shark is going to say, oh yeah, sure, I can give that to you. But they're marking you up at like 40% and they're going to give you X time to pay it. But the law says, hey, the most you can go is here, which just for as an example, it's 25%. Because you need that money so badly and the loan shark's willing to give it to you, you take it, not realizing the trap that you just fell into. All right? And because the loan shark now grabs you, something else happens down the line because you can't afford to pay this first loan and you're out of money. They're like, all right, I'm going to lend you some more money, but I'll just add it on to this one that you already owe. And you're going to go, all right then, because you're just thinking, oh, I'm just increasing the value of the loan I have here. And then you keep pushing on and you're trapped with that loan shark for like 10 years. But because you get the money, every time you go there, you think they're your friends. They are not your friends. And what they're doing is illegal. It's illegal. The funny thing is, police officers, because they're public servants, they have families too, they're taking these loans from these guys. And they'll say, hey buddy, because you're a public servant, you know you're serving and protecting, instead of charging you this 40%, we're going to charge you 35%. And you're thinking, oh, all right, cool. But it's still illegal. Yep. So, still on the topic of loans. A loan, like remember I said, back in the day, public servants could not afford like transportations and houses by themselves. We live in a time now where it's possible. It's possible for a single nurse to have a car and a house. It's possible for a single teacher to have a car and a house. The thing is, you have to know how to navigate these loans. The one that catches most public servants are cars. I'm going to use Jamaica for this example. Let's say the average salary for a primary school teacher. Let's say the primary school teacher makes $1.8 million. All right, this is annual. 1.8 million. Teacher wants to get a car. Working hard. It's been a couple years. You got to deal with people. You got to people and their naughty kids. You see an advert by the bank. Ooh, 10 years to pay back. 100% financing. Get yourself a new car. This new car is worth 2.5 million. And they go, oh, you don't have any liabilities because you still live with your parents. You don't own a house. You're not paying any rent. And they're like, you actually qualify for this car, the high-end model, for $3 million. And you're like, ooh, yeah, leather seats, oh, yeah, the moonlight roof, woo, yeah, running daylight time lights, woo. So you quickly sign up for the $3 million car. What's the problem? The problem is when you're taking loans for cars, the value of the car should never, ever be more than the value of your gross salary. That's Finance 101 right there. Which means if I'm a teacher making 1.8, the highest value car I should be going after is 1.5. Yeah, facts. Because what now happens if I make 1.8 and my car is valued 3 million? It means I cannot buy anything. I cannot buy any assets by myself for the next 10 years or more, because I'm paying back for that car for 8 to 10 years until I can get rid of that car off my portfolio as a liability, or I can sell that car. I'm locked in. If the car is less than my annual salary, I now have a gap. So if the car is worth 1.5 and I make 1.8, I have some wiggle room to buy something. If my salary is 1.8 and this car is valued 3 million, I'm locked in. I can't buy anything else, and the bank is keeping me in debt. Yeah, it's that simple. And here's the other thing. A lot of people think now that I'm working money, I need to have a means of getting around. So when I want to leave the nest, I can. There are more 30-year-olds still living with their parents today, as in 2025, than there were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because real estate is so expensive, rent is so expensive. So their go-to is to buy a car so they can move around. Bad decision. It's actually better if you went and invested in a property. It could have been land, could have been a house, something. Because if you went and acquired an asset, let's say you went and you bought an apartment. When you have that apartment, you've been paying on that apartment for 8 to 14 months. And then you say, let me go buy a car or lease a car. You have an asset in your name with proven payments. And you can go and now look at a car and say, all right, I can't afford the flashiest thing, the nicest thing, the fastest thing, but it's something on wheels that gets me from point A to point B. If you do it the other way around, if you go and get a car first, especially if it's a super nice car, you have eliminated yourself from the possibility of acquiring an asset on your own for a number of years. You still can sign up for that asset if your mom, your dad, your uncle, someone, your spouse gets on it with you, but it's not yours. Because here's the thing. What if you break up? You now have to decide what direction that asset's going, or you have to sell it because you guys can't agree and you're not going to do co-payments, and now you've lost that asset. Yeah. All right, number seven. Your so-called friends. Your so-called friends are keeping you broke. Your so-called friends are keeping you in debt. Your so-called friends is your bad financial circle. Here's the thing. Your party animal friends are always spending, never earning. The hot girl in the group, she probably has 2 or 3 boyfriends. They're buying her everything. They're buying her drinks, they're buying her tickets, they're buying her trips, they're buying her outfits for her. She's not spending any money. You're tagging along, but you're spending. You're buying your drinks, you're buying to get in the club, you're paying to go on these trips and all that stuff. Who's it benefiting? The friend that has everything paid for them benefits. They're the life of the party. Everybody says, "Ooh, want to be like them." But you're spending a ton of money trying to keep up. Bad decision. Gonna speak to the fellas for a while right here. So fellas, I told people as far back from high school, university, I've always dated on a budget. Always dated on a budget. If I'm going out, I'm like, all right, this is the money that I'm gonna spend to date with this person, because I knew in 2 days I gotta go here. I'm gonna have fun over here, but hey, I'm also gonna go here. And then when I started to drive, I had to reduce the budget for my dates so I can put gas in my car. Fortunately, back then, gas prices weren't as nightmarish as they are now. But hey, if I'm going on date A and date B, I need my car to get to both. I need gas, all right? And then the boys will be like, hey, we're going to go play ball and rate shoot some pool. I was like, oh, alrighty. I got to divide up my money, all right? People thought I was cheap. I'm fine with that. They used to call me Mr. Frugal. I'm fine with that. But guess what? I was at every event. I was there. I had gas in my car. I was still mixing and mingling. Sure, I wasn't buying out the drinks and all these things, but I was there. And I never owed anyone. Never owed anyone. And the fake girls, the gold digging girls, they didn't like me because I wasn't spending on them. Now that I'm older, all the friends that I have in my life are still my genuine friends. All the gold diggers, I don't know where they are. They can't talk to me now. Yeah, so who really lost out in that scenario? So yeah, that's number 7. Lucky number 7. Your friends are keeping you broke. Number 8. This one's kind of tricky because it's your savings versus your investments versus CDs, certificates of deposit. All right. Whatever you do, you want to make your money work for you, but you don't want to risk your money beyond what you can afford to lose. Does that make sense? You don't want to risk your money beyond what you can afford to lose. If you're going to go in investments, let's say you have $100 that you want to invest. First question is, can you afford to lose that $100? If the bank loses your investment, can you afford to lose that $100? If the answer is no, put it in savings. In savings, you're not going to get much interest. But because you can't afford to lose that $100, do not risk it. So then you might think of a certificate of deposit. What's the timeline that you're going to need that $100 is my question. Will you need this $100 within the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days? If the answer is no, put it in a CD. Yeah? But that's where you kind of have to navigate the waters with your money. You can have, all right, here's an example. I had $250 in a Jamaican bank, 250 US dollars in a Jamaican bank. It was money that I got for my birthday. Like just people giving me like $5 here, $10 here. Over time, it added up to $250, and I put it in a Jamaican bank US account, savings account. This would have been the year 2004, 2005-ish. So I went to Asia around 2009, and I came back 2012. So I was there on holiday like 2012. So this is 7 years later. 7 years later, and I get a letter. My parents had a letter. They're like, hey, do you have an account at this bank? You know, they keep sending letters that your account is dormant. And I was like, oh yeah, my birthday money. I went, I didn't have online banking at the time, and checked the account. In the space of the 7 years, I got 3 cents interest. 3 cents in 7 years. I had like a $50 on a deposit that was rolling over every 120 days. In the space of those same 7 years, the money had basically doubled. So that $50 became $100, but my $250 only had 3 cents interest, plus the account went dormant. So you gotta weigh the pros and the cons for where you're putting your money. It's another video for me to like go into the nitty-gritty of which one's best, which one's worth the risk, and it all boils down to your financial situation. So yeah, that's gonna be another video. Number 9 is the partner draw system. Partner draw, I'm trying to remember the name in other countries. In Jamaica we call it partner, but it's a partner draw system. It's basically, there's a banker, someone acts as a banker, there's a group of people, usually friends, they come together and they give money like every fortnight or every month. So let's do monthly just for the ease of it. So every month, say everyone gives $1,000. Yeah, I'm always using $1,000 so you guys can get the math. So if there are 12 people involved in this partner system, everybody gives $1,000. The banker might say, hey, for my hard work, out of everybody money, I'm taking $10. So realistically, you're giving $990 because the banker is going to get their little cut. Depending on how you set up the partner draw, you might have, well, and also depending on how many people are in there. So let's say it's 12 people, just for ease of it. That means you get a draw once per year if there are 12 people. Cool. So the end of the year, 1,000 times 12 is $12,000. All right. Here's the catch with the partner draw system. If someone runs off and you haven't gotten your draw yet, your money gone. All right. Bye money. If you get the draw within the first 3, it's awesome because you got the $12,000. You got to do something with it. You probably had some home repair or something, but you're locked in for another 9 months. If you're someone with integrity, you're gonna see it through. You can't leave. If you're someone that's not of integrity and you decide to back out after you've gotten your draw, you now have 11 other people that's gonna be very upset with you. All right. So there are benefits and risks to the partner draw. Here's my thing. If you're disciplined enough to save that $1,000 every month for 1 year, you do not need the partner system. You don't. And then backtracking to what I was talking about, savings and investments and certificate of deposits. If you are disciplined enough that you can lock in $1,000 every month, you can risk $1,000 on investment. You can lock in $1,000 on 120 days deposit. You can put another $1,000 in an aggressive saving plan. All right. And you can even risk $1,000 buying some stock. At the end of the year, you are going to have your $12,000 if you're that disciplined in a partner draw. On top of that, that $12,000, it's going to have more, because you're still going to have something on your certificate of deposit, which is gaining interest. You're going to have your investments, that's gaining interest. You're going to have your savings account. It's not as much interest, but it's there. But if it's an aggressive saving account, that's even more money. So hypothetically speaking, because remember, this is just fictional numbers, at the end of the year, the $12,000 that you saved on your own might have $250 interest. Use that interest to do whatever you want to do and leave your $12,000 on rotation. And then the next year, if you're still disciplined and you're still doing it, that's now $24,000. $24,000 in the space of 2 years. All right. So think of your mindset. Think of what you're capable of. Think of your discipline. I know people that in partner for 20 years, no savings, still struggling, and they're just waiting on their day for the draw. It's keeping you broke. It's keeping you broke.
It's keeping you broke.
It's keeping you broke.
All right, number 10. Number 10. I know I'm going slow in a bit because I'm having a pen and paper and thing. I don't want to go too fast. All right. How you deal with your reoccurring bills. You're not proactive with your reoccurring bills. Reoccurring bills are things like your light, your water, your phone, your streaming services, internet, school fees, your insurance. Like, there's so many reoccurring bills in your life. It goes back to number one, your budgeting, that you really shouldn't be reacting to your bills. You should be proactive with your bills. Reacting meaning, oh gosh, the light bill due. Oh gosh, the water bill due. All right. Versus, light and water is going to be due at X date. Here's the money for that. Let's put it over here. We're not going to touch that. School fees coming up at the end of the term. You know, the new term starts in April. It's right after Easter. Let's put this over here. As a principal, I can tell you, a lot of parents that have their, yes, and I do mean a lot of parents that have their kids in private schools, they mess up on the due dates for their school fees a lot. It's always, oh my gosh, school fee due. Whereas if you treat it like a reoccurring bill, yes, there are 3 terms, depending if you're on a term system or a quarter system or a semester system. So semester is 2, terms is 3, quarter is 4. You know what the school fee is. So let's go with a quarter system. All right. Put out your school fee, divide it by 4. That's what you're going to need to pay. But then you break it down even more. Do you want to cover that over a 10-month period or a 12-month period? You should know how your salary works and your job works. Let's go with 10, because you want to relax over the summer when the kids are out of school. So let's go with 10. Whatever the number is, you divide it by 10, and those are your months. All right. So hypothetically speaking, let's say January to October. This is what you save every month, and you accumulate that to pay your school fee. Versus, oh my gosh, it's January, or oh my gosh, it's April, and you need to find the money to pay the school fee. Whereas if you were saving it every single month, it's April, there you go, pay the school fee. One thing I learned from my cousin, big up my cousin Dawn. Cousin Dawn taught me a long time ago, before I even understood what she meant. She said, this is when light bill was, I think her light bill was $150. You can tell it says way back in the day, right? This is US. She says she pays her light bill every 6 months, because her light bill on average was $150. All she did was accumulate the money for 6 months. Power company, there you go. Her water was like $30. She's like, oh, there you go. All right. She cleared her utilities, light and water, 6 months. Internet, because that was a flat rate, the whole year. She don't worry about it for the whole year. And I was like, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. So even now with like my light bill and stuff, clear that for the year. The maintenance on the building, chunk it up, pay it for the year. The only catch with that system is you have to remember when it expires, when it runs out. So in my case, my birthday is in January. After my birthday is when things usually becomes due. So I know in my head, oh, my birthday come. Next month I need to pay this. My birthday roll on. Next month I need to pay that. It works out in the sense that for that 6 month period, or even for the 1 year, depending on how your pockets stay, you don't have to worry about the bill. But monthly, I'm still putting away something to pay that bill. You see me? So monthly on the maintenance, I put it down. It's saved. Pushing out the bank account and it's still over there and it's stay. So then when I get a message, it's like, hey, just a reminder, your maintenance gonna be due next month. All right. Yeah. All right. So now, the very last one. The last one that's keeping you broke is your credit card. There is no sugarcoating it. If you have no idea how to manage money and how to balance little things, your credit card's definitely keeping you broke. Your credit card has gotten you into trouble. Your credit card is probably maxed out. You're probably on a second credit card and on the way to maxing that one out. You're in big trouble. The thing about a credit card is there are 4 elements to a credit card: minimum payments, your statement dates, your due dates, and the fees. Yeah, so if you don't know how to navigate those 4 things, you're in trouble already. But the thing about credit cards, that need a whole video by itself. So if you can check that video out, awesome. And thank you for tuning in. I know I kind of dragged this one out, but I wanted to go slow. So, pause it and watch it multiple times. If you found this educational, helpful in any way, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll catch you in the next one. So this is Dr. Dyer and the Logic Den. See you in the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Peace. Here is how you got caught in the first place. So for my generation, credit cards became like a hot thing when we were kids. All right. So if you're 40 and above, credit cards became a hot thing when you were children, teenagers growing up. If you are 30 and below, you grew up with credit cards around. You think that's normal. Not really. Over time, these financial institutions made society believe that living in debt is the way to go. And they actually gave you rewards. Get this much off this product when you use this credit card. Get this percentage off when you shop here. Like little perks for you to keep using your credit card and things like that. We've grown up in a society where we think loans are the way to go. Loans for a vacation, loans for a new wardrobe, loans for back to school, loans for this, loans for that. The thing is, every time you use one of these services or you take out one of those products, you're falling in debt. The big picture is they've painted you this nice, flashy, glossy lie. All right? It's all a lie. Don't get me wrong, though. Don't get me wrong. Having a good credit score is good for you. If you have a good credit score, you can acquire nice things. The catch is the thing that you acquire should be an asset, something that increases your net worth or your net value. A nice thing isn't a Prada purse for you to go to a party or a wedding. That's not an asset. All right. If you get a mortgage is a loan. If you get a mortgage on a house, that house will eventually be yours if you make all your payments and you don't falter. Awesome. Those are the type of loans you want to take. You don't take loans for vacations and things like that. Overall, all these things, I'm going to break it down. You can consider them a scam, but they're legal. All right. They're legal because they gave you the full-on documentation, the paperwork, everything, and you signed to it. And in a lot of these cases, once you take a loan, the minimum repayment, if you look at the value and the time that it takes for you to pay back this loan, you're paying back minimum 30%. It means if you borrowed $1,000, a simple figure, you borrowed $1,000. By the time you paid back that $1,000 to the bank with the interest and everything, minimum you have paid $1,300. So that's $300 extra that you've paid back in interest. However,